Hello, guys. Welcome to the special edition of Lazio Lounge post Champions League match. Borussia Dortmund Lazio just finished. Lazio got a point. I would say that we deserve probably 3 points. We were unlucky here, as we are lucky to have again with us Alistair McKenzie. Yeah, I didn't remember him to join me, but here it is. So, yep. We are forced to join to do it together. So, hello, Alistair. How are you?
You shouldn't have signed that contract, Vittorio. Yeah, well, I missed your kind of derogatory intros. You've not had one for a while, so.
Yeah. Erfan already joined us. Ciao, Erfan. How are you, everybody, guys? I want to hear your thoughts about this match, about the starting 11, because I was surprised, honestly, to see Fares and Reina start. I know Alistair wasn't. So it was a surprise to see that. I thought overall Fares played much better than Sunday, Alistair, right? Against Udinese, he was awful. He was much better today against a most dangerous team like Borussia Dortmund.
Well, I thought his first 15 minutes, the time he got the ball, he lost it, and in defence, he was letting spaces in behind him much. So I was a bit worried after that opening period that it was going to be one of these games again where people are on his back and the pressure increases even more, and I started to question whether he's just maybe not up to this level. But actually, he did settle into the game a bit more. I wouldn't go as far as to say he had a particularly good game, but he did at least rally from the opening he made. Yeah, I mean, I should say I wasn't surprised to see him in the team more as a result of the fact that that's what Inzaghi been trying in training this week. That's what most of the kind of predicted lineups were already saying going into the game. So it wasn't a surprise in that sense, as so much as, you know, based on form, you might have gone with someone else.
Yeah, I was more surprised to see Reina start, for example, ahead of Strakosha. I can understand that people weren't convinced by Strakosha's performance against Udinese, even though I still don't see any faults on Strakosha in the Udinese match. While we have to say, I don't know if you agree with me, that the first goal, the only goal of Borussia Dortmund comes from a bad kick from Reina. He had plenty of options. Instead, he kicked it wide, and the ball goes directly to a Dortmund midfielder, and there where we get the goal. So I wouldn't say Reina played badly, but yeah, I would say that the first goal, it's a little bit Reina's fault.
Yeah, I mean, I said at the time, imagine if Strakosha made that mistake. The reaction to it, the response to Strakosha doing the same thing would have been ridiculous. Yeah, and it's a shame because when we were doing this exact same thing, this live show this time last week, I singled out for special attention the fact that I was really happy with Reina's distribution and how calm he'd been, how good he'd been with his feet in that game, how important that had been to the way the Lazio had been able to possession and build their attacks. So look, it's a one-off error. I don't think we need to actually read too much into it. I think the one thing we probably do need to discuss, which people want to talk about, is why that goal wasn't looked at. Because as soon as it went in, people were raising the question of why Marco Reus, who was clearly offside, was allowed to stand in the way of Patrick as he tried to get across to Rafael Guerreiro, who scored. Whether or not Patrick would have got there is irrelevant, really, because he was still involved in the action. So that's frustrating. Is that not why VAR is here, Vittorio? Am I missing something?
Honestly, we have to talk about the ref because I thought it was awful. And as you were saying, Royce goes to get the ball. Guerrero pretty much anticipated, so he doesn't get the ball, but he's going to get the ball, and to reach the ball, he stops Patrick that's trying to make the tackle on Guerrero. So it's clearly, it's not, it's an active position of offside. It's clearly that. So I don't understand why VAR didn't check it. But Alistair, I mean, the ref didn't give the penalty. I mean, the Ciro Immobile, the Milinkovic Savic penalty, it was so clear. I didn't have any doubt about it. Still, the referee was heading to midfield, so they had to call him and said, "Hey, that's clear penalty." Same thing in the last 5 minutes. I thought in the same action there were a foul on Pereira, Caicedo, and Lazzari, all in the same action. I mean, that's simply embarrassing. That cannot be a Champions League ref. That's simply not acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, at the same point, though, I think that you do have to learn to play the ref, and it was pretty clear from the very start of this game that this guy wasn't going to be giving away fouls for what he deemed to be small things. It was pretty clear that you could get away with a lot more in this match than you perhaps could in a Serie A match, for example. And I did wonder, what it would take. If you behead someone during the game, you might give away a foul, but. Sorry, you were wanting to say something.
Well, I agree with you. That was how the ref was playing. But then in the last 10 minutes, the free kick on that Akpa Pro was whistled at close to the Lazio's box. That was very soft, Alistair. So I don't understand why, till that moment, people had to die to get a free kick. And then suddenly, what was it? Sancho goes down and Akpa Pro didn't even touch it, and suddenly it's a dangerous free kick 1 meter close to the Lazio box. So I agree with you. You have to understand how the referee plays, right? What is his standard? But if the ref change his standards during the match, then that's a problem. That's justified.
Yeah,
that the ref is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. I do think that the first goal, I'm a bit unsure about. Why that wasn't looked at. But at the same time, I don't think that refereeing is the reason the Lazio haven't won this match. I mean, when it comes down to it, this is what I said at full time on Twitter, is that it's a strange position to be in when you're losing to a team like Dortmund away. I think that, before the Champions League even started, most of us would have probably looked at Dortmund away and said, I'd take a point from that, no doubt. But the way Lazio played in that second half, the chances they had throughout the game, the way they performed in general, they really upped their game in these Champions League matches, it has to be said. And it was frustrating for me that they didn't manage to get 3 points, because the chance was there. And I really hope that we don't live to regret that, because it's now all down to a shootout on the last day. I mean, it's still in Lazio's hands, but avoid defeat against Bruges next week and we're through. But there still is, although we're unbeaten after 5 games, there is still that horrible lurking thought that if we lose to Bruges, we're out. And it will just come down to that. So I think it's a missed opportunity tonight.
We have to say, Alistair, that Lazio didn't win tonight because Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper made at least 3 unbelievable saves. 2 on Ciro Immobile, the last one on Andreas Pereira. I mean, what would have happened if Pereira would have scored like that? I mean, that was an unbelievable free kick. We were very unlucky on those chances. But I think Lazio played very well overall. I agree. Bruno, of course, is going down to the last match. Would we have any other way? Forza Lazio. That's typical Lazio way, right? And Alistair, the funniest thing is we were 1-0 against Borussia Dortmund away, and Acerbi was playing striker in the last 5 minutes. It was like we were losing and we were trying everything to win it. So this tells you how much the team tried to win this match, right? With Acerbi playing a striker.
Well, Acerbi's been waiting for that moment. He's like the Italian Bastos, just waiting for his moment to be given the opportunity to go up front. No, I thought that, yeah, you're right to point out the goalkeeper made some great saves. Chiro, I thought second half really upped his game. Really
Sorry.
more interesting.
Alistair, it's Acerbi on the phone. It says that he's gonna sue you if you say again he's the Italian Bastos. Yes, sorry, Francesco, never again. Sorry. Go on, go on.
I think that's the funniest thing you've ever done. Congratulations. Right, you really derailed my train of thought now.
You cannot say those
anyway,
things. Come on, please.
Yeah, he. But no, I mean, I think Lazio, like I was saying, they created the chances. I mean, it was a. In the first half, for example, the counter attack that Lazio sprung, the first half was very cagey. I think it was a case of two teams who were set up in very similar ways, playing very similar style of football, wanting to, defend deep but keep short passes, keep possession, and it kind of went a bit tit for tat during the first half. But that counter attack that Lazio had, they had such a huge numerical advantage that I just thought it was almost like they had too many options of how they could score that goal. And Milinkovic-Savic had the opportunity to just shoot, to just hit that. And instead he tries to pass it to Acerbi, who was offside anyway, and then he missed. He was probably relieved he was offside. But it's moments like that. I just thought they maybe lacked a bit of luck, sure, but also maybe a bit of composure to make sure they took the chances that they did get.
Yeah, I try to forget that chance because it was simply incredible. I cannot believe it. Yes, luckily Acerbi was offside, but Milinkovic, what are you waiting with? You're there in front of the goal. Score and stop it. So anyway, Erfan, even if you say Fares was better than before, still he's by far the worst player of Lazio. His level seems much below others. Well, we saw improvement at least, Alistair. I saw a better Fares. Yeah, probably he was the worst on the pitch because Hurt again played a great match. Patrick, who is the other question mark we have, played very well. So I think, yeah, Lazio played a great match. And again, the thing that bothers me is how is it possible that you played rubbish against Udinese and then 3 days afterwards against one of the best team in Europe, you play so well?
Well, it has to be a question of motivation. I mean, surely it has to be, because there has been this huge gulf between Lazio's performances in Europe and in Serie A this season. And you have to say it's not really been so much a case of rotation. There hasn't been necessarily always a massive rotation of the squad or anything like that between Europe and Serie A. Key players have been playing both competitions, but clearly they're really up for it in Europe this year, and they want to get through. We're so close now. So it's hard to, it's hard to draw much more out of it than that. But at the same time, like I said after the Udinese game, I do wonder in part if that was more of just an anomaly anyway. That result was almost like a freak result that might just happen. Because otherwise in Serie A, don't forget, we have been getting the job done, getting good results in the league at the same time as the Champions League. But no doubt the performances have been much better in Europe. I mean, tonight I would say probably is up there with one of the best performances of the season overall, even without the win, along with Zenit, along with the first Dortmund game. Whereas in Serie A, Lazio haven't been playing particularly well, but they've still managed to get a number of results anyway.
Yeah, again, I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but I really feel that Lazio could have won today and should deserve to win today. I mean, yes, the referee, 3 incredible saves from the goalkeeper. I can say, Alistair, I don't know if you agree with me, the first 20 minutes, Lazio was struggling, really struggling. Then after that, Lazio came out and started playing football, and especially in the second half, Lazio had more chances, had more ball possession. I don't remember. Did Dortmund? I think Dortmund had 1 or 2 chances in the second half, and that's all. But Lazio had the penalty, 2 incredible saves from the goalkeeper, another couple of good chances. I mean, and again, it's not La Spezia, it's Borussia Dortmund. So we are talking about a great team, and Lazio was able to dominate in the second half this match. Yeah, as Eka's saying, Lazio are so far hard concede lots of goal. Never this bad as 92, 93. Mamma mia, I didn't think about 92, 93. But yes, this is a problem, Alistair. This is probably the biggest problem Lazio's facing this year. And the funny thing is, today the defense played well. I mean, I said it before. Hood has been outstanding. Patrick has played very well. Same thing as Acerbi. But still, Dortmund scored one goal. It's true that against Dortmund, it's a team that scores a lot of goal. You have to think that they will have a chance. They will score a goal even without Haaland. But still, this season only 2 matches against Cagliari and Crotone. Lazio didn't allow goals, I think. So this is a problem.
It is, yeah. I mean, the other thing to say is that there's been a lot more change in the defence this season than there was last. If you consider that, Wesley Hood, I think, does deserve some credit by now. I think he's been playing very consistently recently, but he's more or less our Champions League man. He's not really playing in any other competitions at the moment. But between him and Felipe and Acerbi, Radu, and Patrick, there's a lot of rotation going on in that defence, and now on top of that, we're having 2 goalkeepers who are able to compete for the same position as well. So I do wonder if, because the goalkeepers are changing, because the back three is moving around a lot, and not only moving around, but guys playing in different roles, like Acerbi playing on the left some weeks, in the centre other weeks. I do wonder if that's perhaps something to do with it too. But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because we don't feel as free-flowing as we have been in the past. It's kind of okay to sacrifice the odd goal if you believe that you're one of these teams like Atalanta were last season, for example, where you can just always outscore the other team. But I don't really feel like Lazio are there yet, as tonight is proven. Got the penalty to get the goal back tonight, but haven't managed to score an open play. And I do feel like Lazio, if we can start to get some clean sheets, is going to make a hell of a lot of difference. Especially against Bruges next week. I mean, that they're going to come to Rome needing a win. They're going to come absolutely flying at us because they have to. There's no other way for it. So that's going to be a big test for the defense.
Yes, I agree. But we also have to say that today Dortmund goalkeeper made 3 unbelievable saves. So Lazio could easily have won this match 4-1. So the problem is still we are conceding too many goals. That's where we have to work at. Muy Bruno, do you think Andreas has shown enough to get a run on matches in place of Alberto now? He didn't start very well. He lost immediately the first ball, but after that, I thought he played really, really well today and was impressive because I finally saw him motivated, willing to prove, willing to do things. The talent is out of discussion. It's the mentality, the willingness of, winning this match, prove that he's a good player, etc. Today we finally saw it. So yes, I think he can start instead of Luis Alberto, even because Alistair, we said it in the last podcast. Luis Alberto in Serie A is at 0 assists. I wouldn't say Luis Alberto played bad today, but how many corners did he waste today? I'm not seeing the Luis Alberto we were used to see.
Oh, God, the corners drive me mad. They really do. It's one of the things that really frustrates me more than anything in football is a wasted corner, especially when they don't beat the first man. But I was thinking that during this game, I bet someone's got the answer to this question, but I just can't really remember when this is the last time we actually scored from a set piece. It's so nice when you get those goals. A free kick or a corner swung into the box and someone heads it in. I mean, it's proper old school football, but it's so effective that if you are good at it, it makes a big difference. And it's just something I don't think we've ever been able to do under Inzaghi. Apart from the Cup Italia final. I mean, that's the only one I can think of, the Milinkovic-Savic one. But as for Pereira, yeah, I mean, I think he does deserve more opportunities for sure. I mean, look, we're talking about here the Champions League campaign and how we're balancing that with Serie A. I think that in the run of games we've got now, there is an opportunity for Pereira because got Spezia this weekend, for example. Why not start him? Rest Alberto. We're going to need Alberto. Like this game against Bruges next week is not a dead rubber anymore.
No.
It's the biggest game so far. So we're going to need everyone fit and available. Spezia are not a bad team, so we're going to need to put out a strong side. But that's a good opportunity, I think, to put Pereira in the side and see what he can do from the start.
Yes. Do you agree with Erfan saying that Pereira can be a better sub for Correa? I think he's more a trequartista, so something in between Correa position and Luis Alberto position, Alistair. That would be the best solution for Pereira. But he started today, he came in instead of Correa, so he was playing close to Ciro. But I think that he stepped up when Luis Alberto came off. So I think he prefers to play in Luis Alberto position more than in the Correa's one. But again, I think it's very important to have another option like that, because if Pereira plays like this, he can be really important. Like Akpa Pro, usually when Leva goes out, we struggle. Instead, now when Pereira comes in, when Akpa Pro come in, I don't see the difference. So I don't know if you know this. Leva wasn't happy to be subbed, but I think Akpa Pro gave a little bit of more dynamic to the midfield. So again, having all these options, it's very important for a team that's playing so many competition. And we saw Escalante back. Again, he started very well this summer. He got injured. It was good to see him back. I think again he's going to be an important player for this team. And again, there's La Spezia Sunday, I think. So it would be important to rotate this player and maybe give Pereira and Escalante a start, or Akpa Pro.
Saturday, Spezia. But yeah, no, absolutely. And look, I think we've already decided that we feel more comfortable with some of these options than we did last season, for example, in terms of the rotation, and that we can trust them. But that's not yet necessarily been proven on the pitch. There is ground to make up in Serie A, and Spezia, they're an interesting team. I think that's going to be quite a challenging game, to be honest. It's not another Crotone, I wouldn't say. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you have to, though. I think that part of increasing and improving your squad depth is being willing to give chances to those players to do it. And this is something we've already talked about. Is that Inzaghi has already shown his own personal development, his personal willingness to do more of that than he did at the end of last season. I think he's accepted now that the way he managed things after the coronavirus break wasn't good, because that what he was doing was that it wasn't, yes, we had injury problems, but he wasn't actually using the players who he did have available. He was consistently using guys who were absolutely exhausted and overusing them. So I think he's already managing that a bit better than he was at the end of last season, for example. But I think that the squad depth improves by giving the squad players you've got more opportunities. So we have to use these games to do that. And it's always going to be a gamble, but I think you have to do it anyway.
Madi say Hutt has been impressing after return. Big surprise. We didn't expect seeing Wesley Hutt playing like that. Again, today was very important, both when Lazio started attacking, because he's very good with his feet, but at the same time, on defense, again, yes, it's true, they didn't have Haaland. Sancho came in the last, 10 minutes, something like that. But still, we're playing against Borussia Dortmund, who is the second best team in Germany, and Hutt played another terrific match. And the other important thing about Hutt, and we said it already, Alistair, is that playing Hutt centrally, Acerbi slide on the left, and Acerbi loves playing on that position, so he can attack all the time. And I have to say that Lazio defense, it's still very good, maybe even better with Hutt centrally and Acerbi sliding on the left, especially when Patrick played like that. Nobody mentioned, but I thought Patrick today was great. Maybe his best performance with Lazio.
Well, best ever.
Patrick, well, let's not forget it's against Borussia Dortmund, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think again, like Faris, I thought he started quite badly, Patrick, but then grew into the game. Yeah, I mean, well, with Hook, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the thing is, the performances he's doing right now aren't the kind of performances where people are really going to stand up and give him a pat on the back. So I think that it's right to point out, like Maddie just did, that he's been doing well, because he had a difficult start, but ever since then he's managed to slot into that team and be probably the most reliable player there. And again, I think Inzaghi deserves credit, because he was signed to be a kind of left-footed centre-back who can be the alternative to Stefan Radu originally. But as soon as he's come in, Inzaghi's recognised that he's going to be far more comfortable and, far more playing to his strengths if he's in the middle of the back three instead of on the left. So we're not seeing him on the left anymore. And like you say, Acerbi absolutely loves it there. So every opportunity he gets, he's going to take it.
Eka saying Luis Alberto is indispensable for Lazio. Andrea is useful for the squad rotation, in my opinion. Well, again, when you have Champions League and Serie A, and this year you have every week Champions League and Serie A, you need to rotate, so Luis Alberto cannot start every single match. And it's good that Andreas Pereira step up and start playing like that. Alistair, I was trying to read what Simone Inzaghi said. He said that, let me get it again, because there's too many videos there going on if I open the website like that. He said that he was expecting to be already promoted with 9 points, so he was a little bit disappointed. Obviously, Lazio played 5 matches, 2 wins at home and 3 draws, and still Lazio has to fight to reach the Champions League. Now we think about Spezia, then there's going to be Bruges. That will be another very important match. We were waiting for 4 years for this Champions League. We are in, and now we are playing to win. The team is very good. Saturday, we want to play well against Spezia. That is a team that's doing really well. Please, Alistair, stop comparing Acerbi to Bastos. Alistair, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find this transcription.
Yeah.
No, I share that frustration, as in, I wouldn't say, with 9 points you'd expect to go through, but I would say that considering Lazio are unbeaten and the level of performance that they've put in, it feels like we should be there by now. So yeah, there is a frustration, and I guess that's partly down to the fact that Zenit have been so useless. I don't think we expected Zenit to be quite as bad as they have been in this group.
Considering that they are seed number 1 of this group, right? They were ahead of Dortmund. So they should have been the favorite of this group. They are last with 0 point. So
1 point, which they took from us.
Yeah, obviously.
So yeah, I mean, Bruges have managed to get obviously 6 of their 7 points from the 2 games against Zenit. But yeah, I mean, look, I think that we just have to occasionally just take this step back and think about it this way, that if we'd said at the start of this Champions League campaign that, look, all you have to do to qualify for the last 16 is not lose to Club Bruges at home on the last day, we would always have taken that. So although it's frustrating, because I feel like Lazio deserve better than they've got from the performances they put in Europe, and it's frustrating for it to still go down to the last day, it's still a good position to be in, and it's still a very favourable position to be in for Lazio.
Yeah, Alistair, and we have to consider, let's not forget that against Club Brugge away and Zenit, we were really in terrible situation. We didn't have 8 starting players against Club Brugge. And, we're not talking about Patrick, we're talking about Ciro Immobile, Leiva, Luis Alberto, Strakosha. So, I mean, on the positive side, thinking that we were able to get 1 point against Club Brugge without all those players last year would never have be possible. Last year we would have lost badly probably against Club Brugge. So we got a point in those 2 away match with all this problem. I think that's a very positive sign. Again, David is asking, was it a penalty at the end, the handball? David, I have to be honest, Sky didn't show it. Not a big surprise because it's Lazio, but Sky didn't show it. Just to give you an example, there is Chiesa. It's 20 minutes that he's talking to Sky. Ciro Immobile was there 30 seconds, and of these 30 seconds, he was talking about Juventus. This to tell you a little bit how big Lazio is in Italy. Ciro Immobile there after Borussia Dortmund Lazio, and the question was, what was your memory of playing with Del Piero? Who cares? He was playing with Lazio now, and now it's 20 minutes with Chiesa. So I guess we will never know if it was handball, but it looked like, but we will never know, I think.
Yeah, well, I've been subjected to the same coverage as you tonight, so I don't have anything else to offer. I do wonder. Be interesting to know if we've got viewers outside of Italy, if any other broadcasters have managed to show a replay of it. I mean, I'd never know how much to read into handball calls because everyone's calling for a handball for everything nowadays.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
It could have been nothing. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Just to give you an update, after 20 minutes of Chiesa, now they're showing all the 50 goals of Cristiano Ronaldo. Lazio didn't play for Gazzetta dello Sport, for Sky. It's finished. It's only Juventus. There were 3 teams in the Champions League, the Italian team. Juventus, Inter, and who was the Atalanta. Lazio didn't show up. So I'm sorry, we'll never know. We'll never know. But if it was Juventus, I promise you, there would have been 24 cameras, 24 hours show about that. So
you're not safe from Vittorio if you work in the Italian sports media. He's coming for you.
Yeah. Apologize if already discussed. Would you rest players on Saturday? We didn't talk about it clearly, but yeah, the impression is yes, I would rest Correa, that was a little bit tired today. Luis Alberto probably as someone else. Fares definitely, even if he's not tired.
Yeah, I mean, Fares. Yeah, it's hard to say because I guess it's an opportunity to rotate. I'd say more than rest the team, because I don't think it's a case of that Inzaghi's going to rest the entire 11 that he's put out there tonight. I think he's Acerbi always played. For example, Immobile always plays. Alberto always plays. Milinkovic-Savic,
Well,
I reckon he might play again anyway because he's only just back from injury. I thought Milinkovic-Savic was pretty good tonight considering how long he's been out. But yeah, I mean, I just expect the normal kind of rotation. I'd expect, for example, Caicedo to come in for Correa and Lazzari to come back into the team, and Luis Felipe to come back into the team, Stefan Radu, Strakosha. And this is what I'm talking about. It's not really so much, okay, wheel out the B team for Spezia. It's actually, there is competition for places. It doesn't feel so much like you're swapping quality with dross. It's the level of competition is higher. I mean, it's the difference is things like we were talking about already with Andreas Pereira for Alberto, for example, which is quite a big call. Or
can I add something that we never discuss at the moment, and I think it's very important. In Champions League, I think it's very, very important and can make a big impact to have bigger players like Maruzic. Maruzic in Champions League, we didn't discuss, but he played very well today. And every time he had the chance, I thought he played well. Adding Hut on the fence, another very physical player, I thought he played very well today. Milinkovic-Savic, of course. I think one of the places where Lazio improved more is that Murici wasn't there; he's injured, but he played against Zenit and Club Brugge. He didn't play great, but I think in Champions League having these physical players can have a huge impact, and that's probably one of the reasons why Lazzari didn't start today. He's speedy but small guy who often in Champions League is forced to play against bigger guys and can struggle in some situation. I think this is another big difference from Lazio that can have a huge impact in the Champions League more than in the Serie A.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting point. I mean, that's something that we kind of touched on, I guess, after the Udinese game, because it was so obvious in that match, this kind of physical battering that they took. You know, they looked like, I said at the time, they looked like children against adults because the first half of that match, Udinese just looked like they were about twice the size of the Lazio players. So yeah, I think that is another among all the balances to be struck. That's another one. You have to supplement speed with strength in a team. I don't think it's enough to be quick and agile. For example, in that Udinese game, there was a lot of that between Alberto Correa, Lazzari, Immobile. You know, they just look like I don't know. Yeah, they look like they were just getting absolutely battered by all these huge guys around them all the time. So yeah, that'll make a difference, and especially Murici, because he was brought in to be this battering ram, to be this to be something completely different in attack that we can offer, and we've not quite got there yet. It was frustrating, the timing of his injury, because it did feel like he was finally getting somewhere, and then he's out. But yeah.
Yeah, and I agree, Alistair, with Levan, what he's writing. Last match in group is terrifying for me because Lazio has incredible ability to transform into Serie B team. And I would add, Lazio is very good in, not last year, to be honest. In the last year, this have improved a lot. But generally, when it's down to the last match, Lazio is very good to find way to lose it. So obviously, we were all hoping to be promoted today. Again, as Inzaghi said, with 9 points, you think that you're qualified. But Zenit was a big delusion, and so here we are. Again, seeing Club Brugge and thinking what Lazio did against Club Brugge without 8 starters, I think Lazio has a big chance to win. Obviously, without fans, it's not going to be the same thing, but it's at home. Lazio's, I think it's confident after this performance. So yes, Levan, it's concerning. There's still a chance Lazio doesn't make it, but I mean, after this performance, we have to say that in Champions League, Lazio played every match well, considering the situation we had. So it's in Serie A where we, in some circumstances, show the B side, the B team, but in Champions League we always played quite well. So I'm still confident, to be honest, especially after this match.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's notable that there is. I think a part of the Udinese problem was the attitude and the approach to the game, and that was something that Inzaghi mentioned afterwards. And I think that has never been an issue in the Champions League matches. There's never been a problem or a concern about the players coming into it with the wrong attitude or not being totally focused. Because we've said it before, we'll say it again. You know, so many of these players in this Lazio team, this is their first opportunity to play in the Champions League. It's not just us as fans who are enjoying this for the first time in 13 years. It's a lot of these players' chance to really show what they can do on the biggest stage. So, yeah, they're saving their best for this competition. I think it's immensely important for them to be able to rotate effectively and still put in the performances they need in Serie A. So I really hope that we can get a result on Saturday against Spezia, because I think a second bad Serie A defeat would be a bit different from one, because then you can write off one as being, okay, we made a mistake, we move on. If it's 2, then it becomes an issue. So, yeah. It's very important for them to get things right, I think, this weekend.
on Sky they are finally showing Lazio Dortmund Lazio. So maybe they're gonna show back the yellow card. Now this is the Pereira free kick. What a free kick! Really, Pereira impressed me today. I'm pleased, guys. Again, we said 30 minutes. We did much more than 30 as usual, but it's fun, and we hope you enjoy it. Remember, you can follow us on Spreaker, on Spotify, because after Serie A matches every Monday we produce a podcast. You can support us on our Patreon page. You have the link there, patreon.com/Lazio Lounge. Membership starts at $2 a month, and you get our video reaction, post-match video reaction of the Serie A. So it's less than a coffee a month. So you can help us there. And thank you again, Alistair. And we'll talk again. Shall we do it Sunday or Monday, as Lazio is playing on Saturday?
Well, it's my birthday on Sunday, so I'm taking that off.
Okay. Good.
No podcasting.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay, thank you again, guys, and talk to you then Monday, because Sunday is Alice's birthday.
Professional.